Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More. I am standing outside a house flip that you may recognize as an eviction house we did a few months ago. And we've done a few videos on here and actually attempted to sell it without fixing it up, but that has not gone as planned. So we'll talk about that, what happened. We'll show you the house, which looks pretty much the same as it did in the last video, maybe slightly dirtier. And we'll go through the numbers and different scenarios on what we're going to do next. So of course, check out investformore.com for more information on our flips, rentals, being an agent, wholesaling, all of that good stuff. We appreciate all the likes and comments, so keep those coming. This house we bought for 160 from a wholesaler. I think it's 160. And when we bought it, the previous owner lived in it, and I made a big mistake by not visiting the house before closing. And so the previous owner decided not to move out. So he sold the house to the wholesaler. The wholesaler sold it to me. The previous owner never moved out. We ended up having to do an eviction. So we tried to contact him, offer him cash for keys. He just would not do anything. So we had to do the eviction. He left almost all of his things, but we think he did leave because some of the pictures on the wall, as you can see the giant stains around the pictures, were gone. So we think he took some of his pictures, a few things, and just left. So with this house, we thought about fixing it up. And then I had the brilliant idea, well, we could just sell it as it is and probably make some money as well because we got it pretty cheap. This house is probably worth $280,000 to $300,000 all fixed up. And I thought, hey, we can probably sell this for $200,000 around there, no problem, as is. So we put it on the market and actually ended up having 2 offers on it. And we had it under contract for right around, was it 205, I think? But it was an FHA buyer. So obviously there's some issues here, and I talked about that with the appraisal and some repairs they might call out. Some of them being a hole in the wall. There are some windows without glass, some broken windows. That was like that after today, me making a mess. So I'll talk about that soon. But that wasn't like that before. But basically, the appraisal was done, and the only thing they called out was they said there were signs of mold in the basement, which actually turned out not to be mold, although we did find some other mold. But that was not a big issue. We took care of that. So you can see here, the phone goes right through the window because there's no glass right there. But the appraisal came in low. It came in 190, which meant we would have had to drop the price to 190, or the buyer would have to bring a bunch of money to closing. So we negotiated back and forth for a while. They said they didn't have any money. I didn't want to sell it for that low, so I said, we'll just put it back on the market, or I'll just fix it up. And then they came back over and over again, said, hey, we found some more money. So eventually we came back to a deal, an agreement. I think it was like 195, and got everything back going with the contract. The appraisal was in. We took care of the mold, got that approved. And then the last month, they've been extending closing a week, saying they just need more time in underwriting. And basically, this was supposed to close last Friday, and nobody contacted us, the buyer's agent, the buyer's lender, or anybody, until the day of closing and said, oh, we need another 2 weeks, and they wouldn't even tell us why. And I'm like, okay, if you give us $2,500 non-refundable earnest money, we'll extend it 2 weeks. And this is an owner-occupant buyer. He kept saying how much he loved the house, how he's a contractor, how he's going to fix it up. So part of me felt sorry for him and kept trying to make this deal work. But the agent said, okay, fine, we'll agree to that. We'll bring the $2,500. We'll give you an amend extend. Nothing happened on Friday. Still, today is Tuesday. Nothing has happened. Nobody has come back to give us any, or the title company earnest money or an amend extend. So the contract is dead, and now we'll probably fix up this home. So why are you staring at this wall? Because this side is drywall. I'm like, oh, great. That's drywall. So if we have to do some electrical work, which we might, that'll be easy to fix. So then in my brilliance, I'm like, well, I'm just going to kick a hole in the wall right here to see what that side looks like. And it was much harder than drywall because it's lath and plaster. So I destroyed that side of the wall and probably did not need to. But now we know there's a mix of sheetrock, drywall, and plaster. That is plaster with layers of wallpaper. So if we do fix this, that brings into questions of if we replace the windows and start tearing into the walls, is all the plaster going to fall off? If we have to replace some of the wiring, are we going to have to re-sheetrock the whole house? So it's a little tricky on that side of it to see what we will do. And here I don't know if this is plaster or sheetrock, and you have a mix of 2-prong and 3-prong wiring, so it's hard to know how good the wiring is behind it. You can see right there, that one's 2-prong, but as an updated panel. But I also showed in some of the previous videos, which I will link to, some crazy spliced up wiring in the attic, which doesn't look very good. So, cool laundry chute. But, so we'll have to see, get our electrician in here and see how much we'll have to do. So I think fate has told us that it's time to start working on this house and do it ourselves. So we have been looking for more contractors. That's one thing we've struggled with this year is we've let a few go and have not found enough replacements. We have found some really good people, but not enough. So we're still on the lookout for more good contractors in northern Colorado. The kitchen, as you can see, it'll need to be gutted. It'll all need redone. The bathroom will need redone. We need new windows, electrical work. There's no real heater in this property. The wallpaper, the sheetrock. The appraiser didn't call that hole out. That was kind of weird. But like I said, you never know what you're going to get with an appraiser. Sometimes they call out tons of things, and sometimes they call out almost nothing. All right, so here's the basement. And in my eviction video too, I'll link to that as well. But a lot of people thought they saw like somebody tied up and gagged on a picture right here. It was not. It was a baby in a high chair. So there was nothing crazy going on. The utility room. That sink was completely clogged up and overflowing. So we got that taken care of. Right here is where they thought the mold was. And it was just literally just some of the concrete. You've got this exterior kind of layer that crumbles down a little bit, and that's all that was. But we did actually find a little bit of mold like down there, which we'll have to take care of fixing up this house. And then back here, this is our heater for the home, the floor furnace. So we'll have to figure out how to get heat to everything, because that's the only vent, that's the only source of heat right now. And then we have these 2 rooms back here, which, you know, who doesn't appreciate a nice fur wall? That's pretty exciting. The nice shag carpet. I lied, there's another source of heat right there. And then who doesn't appreciate your weird black room with butterflies? So that's the house. Now we've got to come up with a plan to fix it up. We've got a few other ones that we need to fix up as well. We have 9 flips going right now. Buying another one at the end of the month, possibly another one this month, as we wait for a record exemption to be completed. We're working on the compound rental properties. I have some other rental properties we need to work on, so we're busy right now. So we are looking for more people to help us out. And then still buying properties, still selling properties, so we're keeping that going. And just keep chugging along. So would have been nice to sell this one. I really wouldn't have made that much money though, after all the expenses for selling, paying an agent, some of the financing costs. So we'll probably end up making much more fixing this up, but it'll take more time and more resources. So I'm thinking, I mean, we're probably gonna spend $50,000 to $60,000 repairing this house, have another $25,000 to $30,000 in other costs. But like I said, instead of selling it for, you know, $200,000 or less than $200,000, we'll be selling it for probably $280,000. Maybe more in this market, depending on how nice we make it. All right, thanks for watching. I appreciate all the likes, follows, subscribers. Keep those coming. If you have questions, leave them below. We'll have many more videos coming up here soon. And of course, check out investformore.com for all kinds of other information, including our 9 books.